I'm Tim Wiley, I'm Tunner's Murdoch. I'm with Rangelands NRM, Natural Resource Management. So my job is to work in this DeGrey catchment. I work with the pastoralists, but want to get you guys involved in looking after country. So one of the things we've done is we've got the fish research group from Murdoch University, so Dr. Dave Morgan and James and Ash to come up, and they're going to teach us how to catch a fish and monitor the fish in the river. So we want to set the baseline. We want to know how many is there now, and then if something was to go wrong, we'll pick it up in changes in the fish numbers. So the guys have come up, and we've already done 2 places further upriver, Running Waters and Mucking Crossing and Malmogi, and later on we'll do other spots along the river and down the river, and we really want to get you guys involved so you become part of the monitoring of the river. So I'll hand over to Dave and he can show you some of the stuff he's doing.
So yeah, we're from Murdoch, and we work on fish all throughout Western Australia, in Kimberley, Pilbara and Southwest. So part of this being invited by Tim to come and try to help all the different communities and people in Marble Bar set up some sort of hopefully long-term research program where you guys actually get in there, catch fish, monitor fish, measure fish, and maybe you do it once a season in winter, spring, summer, autumn. But if it happens long term, then any long term changes you can pick it up. But without these sort of a monitoring program, we can't really detect any changes, you know, because we know cane toads are coming. Potential for some introduced fish from South Africa or Asia coming in, which has happened from the Gascoyne River basically all the way south to Albany, with all these introduced fishes that have now taken over a lot of the rivers. Obviously the DeGrey River, all rivers north of the Ashburton, are free from introduced fish. So they're some of the only rivers in the world that are free from introduced fish. But cane toads are obviously introduced and are coming. We don't know what impact they're going to have. But there's also impact of things like dams, cattle, cyclones, you know, a whole heaps of things that can affect the rivers. So one thing we thought we could get you guys going is doing some baited cameras. So you basically go around and you set the camera for an hour in the water. Here we are at Running Waters. Easy. We're going to set the baited camera up. Yep. So the BRUV. We've got our sardines, our Brunswick sardines. We've got our sardines in spring water, so we're not putting oil into the water. Most places use muleys or a bit of prawns and a bit of mullet just for attracting. We spread it out a little bit to get some attractant, so a bit under there's a bit of sardine. To turn the GoPro on, if you want to come and have a look at this, you just got to hold that button in, so it flash.
Yep.
So it had the movie camera there.
Yep.
So we're on movie. Now all we have to do to turn it on is that top button. So it's on, it's running. Here we are, running water. And give it a good pan around so you remember where you set it. And we'll aim to set it over in that nice clear patch over there. Yep. So you got the sun behind it. And then we'll just lower it down and we'll get out of there and we'll try not to stir it up. Yep. Let's do it. One thing, make sure the housing's all tight. So they come in, they get attracted to the bait, and they come in and they feed, and then when you get back to the office, you sit down on the computer and you count numbers of fish, say every 10 minutes or every minute, and so we'll run them for an hour. Before we run them,
now, like I said, it was a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, look at that.
I wanted it.
Pick me, baby.
Well, that'll scatter if you do come.
Yeah, you'll scatter them.
Look at that fella there going.
That's all right. Yeah, man.
There's a few different species. So what we do is we look at and we try and work out the number of fish in a frame so we can pause it. And we also go through, so we run it for an hour and we'll go through and try and count the different types of fish that appear on the screen and when they appeared from that when we first put the bait in the water. So these are little rainbow fish and some spangled perch in the background. So we always do 3 at every site, that way we can get an average and we can compare sites. So we can compare here to Running Waters or wherever else, and if it's done somewhere else in the Pilbara or Kimberley or Southwest or Queensland, we've got these baseline standards that if everyone uses the same sort of stuff Australia-wide, then we can compare and we can look at changes. Another method we'll use is these fyke nets here. So they're spelled F-Y-K-E. We set these overnight. These catch the nocturnal fish, so the fish that only come out at night. Thank you, James. So basically it's like a big crab trap or something like that. The fish swim in the funnel here. So we'll, you want to grab hold of that one, mate? So we set it up with some wings out, the fish swim along, come in, and they get through the first funnel and or the second funnel. We always tie that end off and we leave a breather hole above the surface so that air-breathing animals such as frogs, crocodiles if you're a bit further north, goannas, turtles or ducks get in there, they've got a little breather hole. So that's a critical thing. You don't want to come back and find a heap of dead turtles or dead ducks or thing in there. So we set these, as long as we've got the breather hole, we bang in star pickets, so that one in the middle here, and we'll slide this over a star picket, and we'll keep it nice and level. And like obviously if a flood's coming, we want to stick near them, because if the water's rising, then our breather hole needs to be adjusted. And we always set 3 of these as well. You can set as many as you like. Somewhere like in that little creek, little spring on where it's flowing down the side, you might want to look at fish moving upstream, so you'd face one that way. And then if you want to look at the fish going downstream, you face one the other way. So you can actually get movement information on which way the fish swim, whether the flood's coming or for breeding purposes. Or if that, like some road crossings are actual barriers to fish, so the fish can only get to there and they can't get over it. So some places it might be an issue for you guys that there's no fish getting into this pool because that concrete barrier is too big. So it might mean something like a cattle grid or something needs to go across to let the water flow through. There's a lot of things that you can look at in your area, like the impact of concrete barriers. All over the world, concrete barriers are big issues with rivers. Fish need to move. And we also have a real fine mesh seine net, which is called, or a drag net, which we drag around, and that way we can look at a certain area and we can work out how many fish we catch and what sort of abundance, so what number of fish, say, per square metre. And hopefully we'll pick these up in the morning if you guys want to come back early. And the cameras, we put 2 out there, and we'll put another one out there now with you guys, and then we'll have a look at that footage too if you want.
So the other thing, this project was funded through the federal government through a community land care grant for getting communities involved with Greening Australia, and we'll also Care for Headland with Pip over there. So we've got some money. What we're going to do is now the guys come and showed us how to do it. We'll buy a set of that, keep that here, and then you guys can get involved. So we can do lots of different spots in your bit of the river, and we can do it as often as you like. And we can do that through Ashburton Aboriginal Corporation. So as part of your CDP, RJCP, we can do this pretty regularly with you guys. So you can be the ones driving it, you can pick the tools you want to do and learn how to do it, and learn more about the river.
So we're riding, we set it at 9 p.m. on the 16th of the 9th, and we checked at 9 a.m. 17th of the 9th, and we're saying approximately 25% cover. So this is, the big one's called a bony brim. And then we measure it, the total length. So the total length of it, a lot of studies use fork length or standard length for a lot of like identification stuff. So standard length is where it folds back to about there at the end of the vertebrae. The total length is there, so it's 282 millimetres. So that's a bony brim. These are one of Australia's, just hold it up, Sean. One of Australia's most widespread species. They're found from the Ashburton River all the way north, right across the Kimberley, Northern Territory, Queensland, down into the Murray-Darling Basin, in the top of the Murray-Darling Basin. Real hardy fish. They don't, I suppose you guys know, they get to probably about this big in some rivers, 40 centimetres. Good bait for barramundi. So we write down its length, 282 millimetres. So we've got it. So there was one of them.
Yeah. It begins with the trek from door to door trip. Then you're picking up your own fall. I had a blast back when it was fine. Like all we do now is run around and check this time. Always made some to console the brothers. Now we're dealing out our own cards to others. I live the battle of fine men. These renegades learn when to lay down arms and step away. Air's fresh a bit, everything emits a sound. Plenty of this room to move in, time for getting down. Now we bring the music to the people. So tell me what you bring to the table. We're all one blood here. It's where we done found, so don't lose it. We're all one blood here. So come alive with the sound, so use it. We're all one blood here. It's where we done found, so don't lose it. We're all one blood here. So come alive with the sound, so use it. Return to the heartland, I look forward to this. That's why I got this story here forged in script. Blood hearts the dust, but some of us slay. Fight to the last death, it takes breath to exhale. Band together, who's left and hobble home. Memorize every last crack in the cobblestone. Hillside abodes, cradle kings and queens. Rise through the ranks, overtake the throne. But if you can hear this, you'll understand you're never gonna make the world turn with another hand. Everything that's placed in this castle up here has been earned through enough blood, sweat and tears. Now we're all one blood here. It's where we done found, so don't lose it. We're all one blood here. So come alive with the sound so